The act of gathering around the table at the end of the day tends to be quite foreign in our culture. Using textual analysis, mini ethnography, and personal interviews to examine this concept, I was able to get an in-depth look at how, where, and why the family dinner thrives in our culture. I also examined articles and books that have been written on the subject and gained public attention. My goal is to examine the concept of family members gathering around the table for a meal regularly at the end of the day, to study if the practice still exists, what effect it has, and how relationships and communication benefit. The definition of a family dinner can be found from different sources. An article I read described it as being something that, quote, has the potential for providing youth with opportunities for positive interactions with other family members, as well as for contributing to good nutrition and health, end quote. Oftentimes we associate a family dinner with a holiday, when everyone sits down and catches up over the past year of events. The family dinner takes on many different kinds of forms. That of something that only occurs at holidays, perhaps only on Sundays, or maybe even multiple times a week. It can also take on many different forms for each individual family, regardless of when or how often it generates relationships. Family dinner and time spent around the table have a direct relationship with communication among family members. I had the opportunity to interview two different mothers of three. They both make family dinners an intentional practice during their week. Each family dinner looks a little different, but Karen West says that she makes an effort to involve her three kids in the preparation of the meal so that they develop an appreciation of where their food comes from and why they are preparing it. What does this have to do with our culture? In the text it states, culture is defined from a pattern of perceptions that influence communication to a site of contestation and conflict. This ends up affecting the influence of culture on communication, especially the communication of the family. The definition of communication is a symbolic process whereby reality is produced, maintained, repaired, and transformed. Given this textbook definition of a family's consistent, intentional effort to maintain and support communication via family dinner, it will cultivate a relational environment for all family members. I also found it relevant that the American Dietetic Association performed studies that showed children who have frequent family dinners tend to have healthier diets. Behavioral aspects of growing children can be affected by the family dinner. Small children are constantly growing and developing, specifically developing behaviors that will shape their understanding of culture and social situations, even in tasks as small as helping to prepare the dinner table. Susanna Baker, mother of three, recommended a book titled Table Life, written by Joanne Thompson. It evaluates the relationship between the family dinner and hospitality and how that grows a family. This type of intentional interaction and devotion cultivates a productive relational environment. Given the opportunity to develop and grow a child's behavioral attitudes, especially obedience, the venue of the family dinner offers up countless opportunities to correct and exemplify behaviors such as obedience, manners, and social communication. Susanna mentioned that her children have shown significant changes in their behavior and respect for adults. Keep in mind these children are 2, 4, and 6 years old. Some of you may recognize this picture from a Sprint commercial on the air not too long ago. I found it interesting throughout my research how often the family dinner appears in the media. Even though it's not something that is enormously common in our busy society, the media recognizes it as a common concept that people can relate to. The dinner table is an area where issues can be addressed and discussed with everyone involved. This is another ad using the family dinner table as the main setting. Naturally, it's for food that can be prepared for a meal, communicating that can be done quick and easy and still allow for precious time around the table. I found this cartoon to be very amusing. The mom seems to be asking the family why she only received one, quote, like for the dinner she prepared. It seems as though the author is commenting and joking about the day and age where everything is publicized and posted all over social media websites. How that's quite literally the venue of communication we often choose over personal conversation. The point of the family dinner reaches beyond the food. In an article written by Allison Aubrey, NPR investigates if the practice of the family dinner still exists and why. Within this article, it was developed that even though the premise of a family dinner isn't as prevalently related to the development of a child, the principle is still relevant. Families still participate in activities that involve dedicated relational time with one another, even if it's not at the dinner table. Through this textual analysis method, it reveals that though this practice isn't as prevalent, it still thrives. Through the research I completed, I have found that the culture of the family dinner that exists in the home is directly related to the development of children and their relationship with his parents. Not that it is the only area that can be used to enhance the development of the relationships, it is used as a tool. Given the text, the relationship is a cultural communication that can span between different cultures. These findings confirm my initial suggestion.